I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I'm going to show you how you can use MRotary to create like some interesting effects, especially for risers and things. Now, of course, you're probably familiar with rotary speakers and how they sound and everything, and they sound great on organs or guitars and things, but you can actually use them for other things. And Melda Production actually has two different rotary speaker plugins, one MRotary and one Vintage Rotary, and you're probably wondering what's the difference. Vintage Rotary is kind of like your standard like Leslie sound, but Rotary can actually do a bunch of other things. You can have, like multiple speakers instead of the two you usually have with like a Leslie simulation, and you can actually adjust it in other ways. So today I'm going to show you how you can use this with a riser sound to create some like very interesting and unique effects. So here we go. I have this bypass. I'll let you hear this. This is just the sound I made before, like the reset glissando. So it sounds like this. Okay, so you hear it just sounds like a riser or something. I have the harmonics there. I'm not using a sine wave just so it'll be a little bit more clear when I'm using the rotary speaker. It sounds a little bit better, at least to me. So I'll take this off bypass and let's just go in here and put it on default. So you can see here we have lots of different speakers. I'm going to just use one for this, although you can use more than one if you like. So we have this one spinning around, and if we listen to it, you can actually hear the spinning. So you can hear how that works. I recommend putting on some headphones so this will be a little bit more clear, but you basically get the idea. We have down here an equalizer, so you can adjust that. I might want to do that here to cut out some of the bass because this is kind of hitting some low notes. So let's just cut this out here. Now from here, what we're going to do is I want to take this speaker and I want it to start off with very little width and then expand over the time that the sound is rising. Not only that, I want the stereo width to increase and I want the speed to increase. So you think, okay, how do we do that? I don't see anything here besides fast and slow. But you can actually control that inside here, advanced settings. So let's click this. So here we can control everything, and let's just kind of take it here and I'll put it on the fast setting at first and we'll adjust some of these other parameters here. So by adjusting the width, I can control how much of this I want. I want this at 100%. And let's listen to this, and I can control things like the radius, which is how far or how big this gets, so you can just hear this. So there we go. I like that. Maybe I can move the distance up a little bit, but not too much. So we have the radius here, and I want to automate this here and make it bigger. First thing I have like the band 1. This shows you like the slow rate. So let's just set this at 1. I could do the same thing with the fast rate too. And you're thinking like, okay, what does this mean? And it's controlled by the speed here. So if I move this down or up, I think it's on fast actually, so if I slow that down, it moves it. I'll use the fast rate here, and we can slow it down, we can speed it up, etc. And we could use the acceleration, but I'm actually not going to use that. So what I want to do is let's use some of the utilities. So not the toolbar, sorry, meters and utilities. Here, let's go into here, and you see I have this mod 1. So I want to modulate all these things. So let's try the slow rate. So I'm going to listen to this, and maybe it's about here, so I can find the exact rate that sounds good as a starting rate. That seems like a good starting rate, so about 0.5. So let's click Clear and Learn. So I want to control the fast rate. Other things I might want to control are the radius. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to control? I think the rest of it should kind of be okay. So I'll stop there. One thing I might want to do is make this wider, but we can do that afterwards. I'll show you how to control this mod rate. So now it's set on sine wave. I can turn it on here. You can see what it's doing here, which is kind of an interesting effect, but I don't know if this is what we want. I'll let you hear this just because it's kind of funny. We don't really want that. So what we do want is we want to change this to a saw wave. But now you see it's going backwards. I don't want it to go down like this. I want it to increase. So we're going to go into advanced and just hit invert. So now it's moving how we'd like it to move. And we can change the rate here, but I want to sync this up to the project tempo. So click sync here. And I don't want it to start at 90. I want it to start at 0. And then we can set this for however many bars we want. In this case, I believe it's 8. So it's set at 8. And then I'll just enable it again. So you can see it's gradually getting wider and wider and wider and wider. And that's good. Let me widen this here to maybe let's try 200. I want this to sound really wide. Let's hear it. So now the radius is pretty much doing what I want, going from the very small radius to a very large radius, but the speed is not good. So let's set this here 0.5. That's the slowest. And then let's set this all the way up 15 or so, 15 hertz. That's really fast. Okay, so you can see it's starting out like that. Now let's listen to this. Here we go. That's what we wanted. Now, from here, we could just leave it like this, but of course we go back in and tweak other things like the distance, etc. But let's actually look here at the cabinet. What this will do is just add different sounds to things. I wanted just the output because I don't want to blow your ears out or clip anything. But this can add, some different sounds to it here. So let's try wood first. So you can see, and there's lots of things in here you can choose. I don't even know I wonder what leather sounds like. I don't even know. So there you go. On top of that, you might want to add some delay or some reverb or something, and you can even add the amp in here if you want some drive or something like this. So you can see this can be used for a cool effect like a riser, or you could use it for a downer. And if you wanted to use this as a downer, all you have to do, it's very easy just to go in here for the fast rate and just invert it. And the same thing here. So it starts large and gets smaller and smaller. So you can do this however you like, and there's all sorts of things you can do to kind of make this more interesting and spice it up. But I thought this is a really cool use of MRotary. But also you could do this with more than one rotary speaker. So here I'm using 2, but yeah, you could use 3, 4, 5, however many you want. So it's kind of crazy right now, but you get the idea. So there's all sorts of interesting things you can do with this. It's not just for, organs and things. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions, and check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Until next time, see you.